Cool. So, hey, man, this is Jason Morris, and I'm here on the call with Daniel. How do you say your last name?
Lussier.
Lussier. I knew I was going to butcher it, man. So, Daniel, how about if you tell us a little bit about you, tell us your business, how long you've been in the business, and where you are right now.
I'm in Connecticut, Brantford, Connecticut. I'm going to get my headphones because I can barely hear you.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm in Brantford, Connecticut. I've been in real estate. This is my 5th year, and I was a factory worker for 20 years at United Aluminum.
Really? So no sales experience previously to real estate?
Correct.
No kidding. So what made you decide to get into real estate?
I've always wanted to do it, and here, I'm going to put you down for just 1 second. Hang on one second.
No problem.
Untangle this mess here. Okay, you there?
Yeah, I'm still here, man.
All right, beautiful. Much better. I could barely hear you.
Awesome.
Okay. I've always wanted to do real estate. I used to watch those Carlton Sheets for real estate investing. Hey, remember those commercials?
Yeah. Did you ever buy the course?
Yeah. I did. Never did nothing with it. So I looked at it for maybe a week and put it in the locker and went back to my overtime.
Dude, I met this guy, just an extremely quick Carlton Sheets story. I met this guy, this was years ago, and this guy he was buying property like crazy, probably owned 300 or 400 properties. And he owned mobile home parks, storage units. He even owned a graveyard he was selling cemetery plots in. And I asked him, I ended up doing some real estate business with him. This was years ago. And I asked him, I said, how'd you get started? And the guy goes, oh, well, I started with the Carlton Sheets course. The guy had got a tumor in his leg, and he lost a leg. This was a one-legged guy. And something about the way he lost his leg, he couldn't wear like a prosthetic or anything. So he got around with one crutch. I mean, talking about like this guy had, it was tough. He had a tough time getting around, walking far and stuff. This guy amassed basically an empire of 300-400 properties.
Wow.
Carlton Sheets course. Really nice guy. Still talk to him every now and then. He got caught by the real estate market, when money was really, really easy. And he had so many properties that he'd owner financed. He ended up filing bankruptcy. It took forever for the bankruptcy.
Wow.
To work it all out. And it was quite an impressive, like his whole story is like really, really impressive. He's like one of those guys that I'd like to do one of these interviews with so other people can hear him talk about his story just because it's so insane. The guy asked probably got 300-400 properties. It was like I'd go in his office and he'd talk about stuff that he wanted to sell, and just the list just went on and on and on. And finally I'd be like, so what exactly do you want me to do for you?
That's quite an undertaking.
And it was all from the Carlton Sheets course. So how long have you been in the real estate business?
5 years, and this is the first year full-time. Last year was my first full year full-time. I left the factory November of 2017.
So what made you go from part-time to full-time agent? Like, what was the big factor? What allowed you to make the jump, I guess is my question.
I started getting really busy, and I took too many days off and wound up getting in a union company battle, and I got fired.
Oh, no kidding. So you were forced to go full-time.
I was forced. Yeah.
But was it a good thing?
It was. I worked nights for 20 years, 11 to 7. So this is the first time I've actually slept at night every day.
No kidding.
So that's, it was definitely, the first year was really, really hard.
Yeah.
My wife works full time, but it's not enough to handle what we have going on right now.
Of course.
Which is a lot.
So your first, so you got fired from your job, and you just said, hey, you know what? I'm really busy doing real estate. I'm just going to go full time in it.
Yeah, and my wife was completely on board. She's
Awesome.
actually the one who said, maybe you should do the real estate full time. Because I could have. She works at Sikorsky. I could have got a job like the
Mhm.
next day. That it wouldn't have been a
Yeah,
problem. And we decided to stick with it and see where it took us. And
that's
I wound
awesome.
up doing pretty well.
That's awesome, man. I feel like a lot of agents, like the toughest thing to overcome is having a spouse or significant other that is not supportive of you being in the real estate business.
That's one thing I do have going for me is that
Yeah.
she's 100% behind me. You're right, though. That it happens a lot.
That happens a lot, a lot. I think sometimes one spouse is scared the other one's going to get more successful than them and find somebody else. I think it's a security thing. I don't know for some people, but so your first full year in the business, how many transactions did you do last year?
10.
10. What's your
Yep.
average sales price there?
337.
Okay, so you're making close to $10,000 gross commission per deal.
Well, after all splits and everything, yeah, I looked at it, my average, because we have $100,000 houses here and we have $20 million houses here.
Yeah.
So my average was 255 around
Mm-hmm.
there.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
it
pretty
wasn't what
good.
it was okay. I did have a little bit of a handy. I have 4 boys.
Yeah.
One of them is 2 years old. And from May to October, I had the baby full time. We couldn't afford daycare.
Oh, no
So
kidding. So that's a
I had
challenge
the baby.
itself. So
Yeah,
what about now? Do you have the baby full time now or part time?
no, he's back in back in daycare full time. And we made a point that he's got to stay there because I can't get anything done with it, watching a baby.
You know what?
I just can't.
My wife sells real estate too, and we got an 18-month-old, and for the first like 14, 15 months, she stayed home with the baby, and she's got a real estate license, but for that 15 months or so, she did not work during that time because it was a full-time job taking care of the baby. I mean,
Oh yeah.
man, there was no time to get on the phone. There was no time to do stuff. So what's your goal in 2019?
Pretty ambitious because I know you're going to be using this for a recording. I don't know if you want to know what I'm up against for 2019.
I do. I want to know that too.
Okay. Because I was thinking about this and I figured I would lay it out there. We have about $75,000 in debt.
Yeah.
And that's why I said my mindset was the biggest thing because the money can't come in fast enough.
Of course.
So it's
when does that debt
between
have to be paid off? So you guys are making payments on the 75,000.
right now, like for instance, right now I have one house under contract. I have both sides and it's a short sale. So that's not going to close for quite a while.
Mhm.
And I have a lot of stuff, a lot of buyers and sellers looking, but nothing's under contract right now.
Yeah.
But that money needs to go, that debt needs to go away soon.
As quick as possible. I
Yeah,
understand.
because right now we're only barely making it. My wife's income can handle the house, but nothing else.
Yeah. So I'll tell you what, because I've had times, I've been in the business 15 years, and I don't want anybody to ever think I've been immune to those slow times. You know what I mean? I've had the really, really great times, where I should have saved my money because I didn't think they were going to end, and then I've had the times too where it's been like, hey, damn, I'm working really, really hard and I'm not making any money. And it gets, you were talking about mindset. I know that gets a little bit discouraging, like in the place you're at. One of the things that I started doing for myself was I got really into the habit of listening to like really motivational stuff like Tony Robbins and Zig Ziglar and Jim Rohn and, the kind of classic people that we hear often. I got really in the habit of those. And I'll tell you what really kind of like helped me with being in similar situations to what you're in is like actually writing down my goals, physically writing them down. Like that's $75,000. That's $75,000. If we figure that backwards at just say 2%, 2% commission. Let's see. That is, how much money is that? Have you done this yet?
Well, I done my written goals for 2019, and I want to do 36 deals.
Okay, 36 deals at about $250,000 each.
Yeah.
So that'd be $9 million.
Yes.
So, and about $4 million at 2% would wipe out the $75,000 with no problems.
Correct.
Because you're probably going to get a little more than 2%, but $4 million would do that. So $4 million divided by $250,000. So you got to do 16 deals to get rid of that debt.
Yep.
Like 16 deals. So where can we get 16 deals from?
Well, around here, there's not a lot of expireds. And I had the Red X and all that stuff, and it worked great. I just can't afford it right now.
Yeah.
So I'm back to sending letters, door knocking on for sale by owners, calling for sale by owners because I have their numbers.
So where are you?
Last year, where most of my business last year was my sphere.
Yeah.
Was my sphere of influence. I had one for sale by owner and one circle prospect deal.
So for sale by owners right now, where are you getting them from? Are you just driving around? Craigslist?
Oh, no, Craigslist. I've been sending those. I've been starting off with emails to them, and I actually just had an appointment the other day, but the guy was $100,000 away from where it should be. So I'll let him simmer for a little while.
Yeah, but, follow-up's the key with those. I tell you what, let's talk a few minutes about I got like 12 or 13 minutes here. I didn't know when I put that link on, I was going to have people like schedule back to back, but I'm happy to help you, and we can talk again afterwards privately, but that 16 deals, this is where my mindset would be if I was you. Where can we get 16 deals as quickly as possible? Is your market moving kind of fast?
Yeah, the town I'm in, Brantford, you put a reasonably priced house on the market, it's gone in 24 hours.
So if I were you, your evictions last really long because you guys have some funky stuff about not evicting people in the winter, don't you?
We do, yeah.
Yep. So there are probably a lot of evictions filed in your market right now that they can't go through because of that winter rule or law or whatever it is. Those are some sellers, I believe, that would be like really, really motivated right now. And all that's actually public record. Like all the eviction filings, all that's public record. I had a lot of success with evictions, man, in the past. All that's public record. You can find them probably on your judicial website. They might be online. It depends on your county. If they're not, though, you can probably call somebody that works for a title company. You can go down to the courthouse and research them yourself. Those are free leads. You just got to work a little bit to get them. And those leads, nobody else is really calling those people because most agents won't do the work to get the lead.
Well, I didn't think about. I do that for short sales.
Yeah, it's probably the same process. Probably the same little office you dig through the files, But
yeah, I just look for people who are in pre-foreclosure on the judicial website.
Yep.
And I send those people a very heartfelt letter, and I actually had somebody just call me to come list.
Yep, I would go after those people. The eviction people are great. Short sale people are great. Are you using a negotiator for the short sales, or are you doing them yourself?
No, I have an attorney in town that does them for me. I just hand them off as soon as I get an offer. Okay, cool. So I was going to tell you, like some of the big banks, like if you start really looking at the short sale filing, some of the big banks, like I know a lot about short sales because my market was dominated by them for years, and I probably closed 150, 200 of those deals. And Bank of America, the big banks, right, or a lot of them are using Equator, and they've got that system like really, really down pat where those short sales they move quickly. And you can actually, if you start really looking for those in the filings and just making a little note by that person's name and start really going after those, you can close those in like 30, 45 days, almost like a regular traditional transaction. As long as the seller has their shit together, Right. Yeah, the seller, that's the problem sometimes is the sellers sometimes don't have their stuff together, So
I would look at the evictions in your market for sure. I keep doing the short sales. The people that are big banks, man, I'd follow up with them hard, you know. Those might be the ones that if you can't find a number, like looking it up online or whatever, you might actually want to go knock on their door, drop something off. You know, I'd go after those really hard, the big bank ones. The evictions, you're going to have to look for the owner and the tax records. They're going to be a little bit of work, but I think it's going to like pay off for you. And then I would start, man, I would look through Craigslist. I would look through Facebook Marketplace. I would look through Zillow. I was thinking what else for sale by owner things are out there.
I use RheMine a lot.
What's it called?
RheMine.
I don't know what that is.
It's part of our MLS. It's
Really?
Yeah, it's free, and there is a subscription to it. But it's what I use it for is once I put in a property, it gives me all the owners of that property, their names, if there's email addresses for that property. And it also, I can see how much,
Really?
I can see how long they've lived there. I can see how much equity they have in the house. And I target the people, you know, they live there for 7+ years. They got 20% equity. I've been targeting those with some good success as well.
No kidding. I've never heard of RheMine. I didn't know MLSs were giving us things like that. Most of us.
Do you have Smart MLS down there? It's called Smart
Paragon.
MLS.
Yeah, Paragon is kind of, I don't know. I see other agents MLSs and they'll show me stuff and I'm like, man, that's amazing. And then I go back and I go, oh man, mine sucks. I really feel like that. Our Paragon is just very, very basic. I feel like, I know there's my understanding is there's different Paragon modules too, that your association can subscribe to and different like add-on features. And apparently
okay.
You don't get any of those. But so if any of them are listening to this, you know, we don't get any of those. We need more stuff. But yeah, I would look at those, man, and I would try to gather up all my leads from even last year too, and those old for sale owners and stuff.
I had the Red X for pretty much all of 2018.
Okay.
And even though I suspended the account because, like I said, right now the money's really tight, so I can't afford it.
Yeah.
I still have almost 6,000 expireds in there.
No kidding.
Plus for sale by owners, probably another 1,500.
Man,
so I was thinking about going back to those numbers.
3,500 leads in there. 3,500 potential leads in there.
Yeah, and that I could call, hand dial, but hey, it's something.
You know what, man? I'll tell you something I've done a lot over the years is every so often, about once every month or two, I would schedule like 2 or 3 days, and I'd get all my leads together I could find. Like you got 3,500 there. And if you're hand dialing, I kind of learned this about myself, hand dialing and tracking over the years. When I was hand dialing before I had a dialer, I could dial like 35, 40 numbers an hour. And that was me being kind of pretty focused, right? I mean, not, getting up, messing around on Facebook, turning on the TV. I could dial about 35, 40 numbers an hour and leave voicemails for them. One thing I learned is when I'd get a large number like that, I would end up with about 1 to 2% of those leads wanting to do something in the next like 30 to 60 days. Right? Huh. So if you took all those 3,500 leads and you took and went through them all, dialed every single one, left a voicemail for every single voicemail on there. And it just needs to be something real simple. It could be, hey, the Jason Morris from eXp Realty is calling you. A while back, you wanted to sell your house at 123 Main Street. If you could give me a call at your earliest convenience. Something just real simple like that.
Right.
You will come to the end of those and you will end up with, if you got 3,500, I guarantee you're going to end up with like somewhere between 1 and 2%. So 35 to 70 people that are going to want to do something in the next 30 to 60 days.
Wow.
Right?
That's my whole year right there.
Yeah, and then if you go back through them again and just go through the ones that you couldn't get in contact with, you'll probably pick up another 0.5 to 1%, right? So you'll probably end up, man, if you went through 3,500, you diligently done it, that's going to be 100 hours of calling. But, the thing I always tell agents, if you don't have any business, your job's to go look for business, right?
Right. That's
But that's
what I do in the morning.
100
Mailing.
hours of calling. So that might take you 2 weeks to get through. And that's like really calling hard, right? But if you got through those in 2 weeks, dude, that's your 16 deals to wipe out that 75,000 bucks. And that's probably by the second time you go through them again, like all the people you get in touch with, then all the people you couldn't get in touch with that you left voicemails for, call those people again, right? The ones that say, hey, we sold the house or wrong number, whatever, just take them off your list. Go through them a second time. You're going to end up with like 100 like solid leads that want to do something probably in the next like 30 to 90 days.
That's true. It's the beginning of the year. The spring market's coming up. You may want to start up again.
Dude, and
Oh, I lost you, Jason. There you go.
I'm back now?
Yep.
Yeah, for some reason, dude, I'm having okay, there we go. Is that better?
Yeah, that's much better. Oh, now you're muted.
Bought this fancy new microphone, dude, and apparently I don't know how to use it. But if you did that just for 30 days, right, went through those, and then those 75 to 100 leads you're going to get, the ones you had meaningful conversations with, they still want to sell their house. Maybe even they tell you like don't pay attention. Like if you go through the stuff and if you go through that script webinar that I have in my group coaching on the website.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in your group coaching. Yep.
If you go through that, man, if you go through the objections when I'm done too, you'll hear a lot of the objections. And a lot of those objections are going to give you your smoke screens, like the ones that say, oh, we think we've already picked out an agent. Oh, we're going to go with our last agent. A lot of those people are just telling you that because it's the easy thing to get you off the phone. They're doing the same thing we all do to telemarketers. So Don't pay a whole lot of attention to them. If they still want to sell their house, that's a lead. Put it on your list. Follow up. And follow up those people like every 7 to 10 days, in some meaningful information. Hey, one just come on the market. One just went off the market. If we put your house on the market right now, then we could do this and this. So
definitely gave me a lot of insights here. Definitely a lot to work with.
Yeah, man. If you've done just that with the tools that you have now, that's one of the things that there's a guy I'm friends with. You probably you might be friends with him on the internet too. His name's John Michell, and John's a real estate trainer and stuff too. And me and John are really good friends. One of the exercises me and him did together, just like in our endless talking about making money conversations, is what resources. How can we make another $100,000 this year with the resources we already have? Right? How can you find that another 16 deals this year? Your goal. How can you do $9 million in transactions this year with the deals you already have, with the information and stuff you already have? And you already have the 3,500 leads in your Red-X. You have Craigslist. You have Zillow. You have Facebook Marketplace. You're already going to the courthouse and getting short sales, right?
Yeah.
Spend another 30 minutes there and get the evictions too, right? And there's other stuff that you can get from the courthouse. The courthouse is full of leads, man. You just have to figure out where it is. I mean, because you're already doing notices of default. What if you started doing municipality filings where somebody has some sort of ordinance claim against them by the town? The town's filed something because the house looks like shit. The grass is too high. They've condemned it, right? A condemned house is still a house. They can go through the process and get it uncondemned, right?
Okay.
There's a deal there, man. I tell you what, I got a friend of mine that was just looking for condemned properties a while back. And he bought a 3-unit property in the middle of Myrtle Beach. It's not in the best neighborhood, but it's in the middle of Myrtle Beach. He paid $15,000 for it. He had to put about $35,000-$40,000 in it to get it back rentable, and to pass inspections and get electricity turned on. Dude, but he got 3 units there that are renting for $800 a piece, and he's got $50,000 in it. I mean, he could probably turn around and sell that place for $250,000. I mean, I mean, there are deals in those. There are a lot of deals at the courthouse. You just kind of got to get creative. Probate's another one. Old probate. I found a deal not long ago that I'm going through the process right now to purchase that. Mother died. Short version is mother died, left it to the son and daughter. Son and daughter, I've got in touch with them. Dude, they went through probate, but they didn't get the deed of distribution. Right? They started it, and they hadn't worked on it since 2017. They never finished it. And one of my questions was, well, when I first talked to them, I said, "Hey, I seen you guys were going through probate. What happened? Why didn't you finish it? You got 2 pieces of property in it." Right? The reason they didn't finish probate was the estate had no money. They didn't have the money to finish it. Dude, that's such a small problem. They got so far in probate. I mean, they already got the deed of distribution. They just didn't do the final steps where you had to pay the county a little bit of money. Dude,
right. It's probably not a lot, right?
Yeah, that stuff can be paid through closing. So if we can get everything we need, make sure probate's open, get a contract, that stuff can be paid out of closing. It's not a big deal at all.
Huh.
And right now,
sitting there
it's just sitting there.
They couldn't do anything.
And honestly, more than likely, if it continues to sit there, they're going to lose the property to taxes.
Right.
If I wouldn't have come along and called them, now this is me thinking that I'm special, I guess, but if I didn't come along and call them, dude, the county would have administratively closed their probate, and they would probably lose the property to taxes versus, I mean, it's not a big deal, but they're probably going to walk away with $40,000-$50,000.
Yeah, better than walking away with nothing.
Dude, $40,000-$50,000 split between 2 people, for a lot of people, that's life-changing money, Yeah. And they're, I mean, part of me thinks they hate me. Part of me thinks, though, that one of them is really, really appreciative that I'm helping them. The other one acts like, I'm trying to take their money, But there's a lot of deals at the courthouse, man. Agents just don't quite get. So you've got the resources to solve the problem that you have. You just got to.
Just getting my head wrapped around it and just doing it. Like the last 3 weeks, I have been calling, mailings. So I have the business coming. I just have to keep at it and not stop.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. You got to keep going. And that's the hardest thing sometimes, is just to keep going, man. You're so close. You know what I mean? You're so close. Dude, I tell you what, this is cool with you, man. If you'll text me your phone number, I got one more call after this one, and then I'll call you and we'll chat a little bit more. Is that cool?
Oh, that would be awesome. Yeah, I think I have your number, your cell number.
Okay.
Actually.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I should be finished up here in about an hour. And but I appreciate you doing this call with me, man. I think there's some really exciting stuff. I think you have a lot of opportunity.
Thanks. And thank you for doing it with me.
You're really, really close to really breaking through. You know what I mean?
That's what we're hoping for.
So let me ask you, before we get off the phone here, I know that every agent likes referrals. This is going to go in, in the group coaching website, and to go in real estate agents that really work this recording at some point. If somebody wants to refer you a client, how do they get in touch with you?
I am in Brantford, Connecticut, and you would get in touch with me at a phone number of 203-494-1082. And you can email me at my full name, Daniel Lussier, 26@gmail.com.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much for doing this with me today. I know this is going to help a lot of other agents in your same situation, and we'll talk here in just a little bit.
Sounds good. Thanks, Jason.
Hey, thanks, man. You have a great day.
You too. Bye.